Hello, BookTube. Well, I think we've reached that melancholy moment, the last mail haul of the week. I say I think because the delivery schedules on the weekend are different than during the week. The week I can predict with clockwork precision, but on the weekends, maybe not. So I'm going to assume that this is the last of it. But there might be more. If there is more, you'll be the first to know. And what we have here is not much. It's 2 packages, but they're both boxes, which is an extra thrill for Steve, because that usually means a finished copy, and finished copies are fun. And if it's a box, that usually means a big finished copy, something that wouldn't fit in an envelope. So let's see what this first one is. Yes. Okay. Very good. All right. This is from the folks at Princeton University Press. These might both be from Princeton. You never know. This comes out on October 1st. I think we saw this already. This is by Nicholas Buccola, and it is The Fire is Upon Us. James Baldwin, William F. Buckley, and the debate over race in America. On February 18th, 1965, long before I was born, an overflowing crowd packed the Cambridge Union in Cambridge, England, to witness a historic televised debate between James Baldwin, the leading literary voice of the civil rights movement, and William F. Buckley, a fierce critic of the movement and America's most influential conservative intellectual. The topic was, quote, "The American dream is at the expense of the American Negro." And no one who has seen the debate can soon forget it. Nicholas Buccola's The Fire is Upon Us is the first book to tell the full story of the event, radically different paths that led Baldwin and Buckley to it, the controversies that followed, and how the debate and the decades-long clash between the men continues to illuminate American racial divide today. Fantastic. Fantastic. I think I have the advanced copy of this, and I have not got to it. This is October 1st. Great. This is, what we refer to on this channel as keyhole history, where you have a very small event that is made to work an interpretive burden on a larger canvas. It's tricky to do that well. I'll have to hope that this author does, especially since this subject deserves it. It's tricky to do it well. Most authors who try overreach and fail. But I'm always holding out hope for an exception. And then that was our first one. That is fantastic. A nice, engaging work of nonfiction. And now, the bee is feeling she's feeling rather tired. She's feeling rather tired. But we'll perk her up. I'll take her on a nice long walk. So now we have the second one, and then we'll be done. This is our last mail haul, I think. This is a much bigger box, heavier. So let's see what we have here. Oh, okay, all right, okay, wonderful. Okay, this comes out in a week. I don't think I've had an advance copy of this. I would have liked one. This goes right to the front of the list. I will read this today, or at least I'll get started on it today. Oh my. Oh goodness. Okay, this is by Evan Maudsley, and this is The War for the Seas, a maritime history of World War II. Oh my. Okay. Command of the oceans was crucial to winning World War II. By the start of 1942, Nazi Germany had conquered mainland Europe, and Imperial Japan had overrun Southeast Asia and much of the Pacific. How could Britain and distant America prevail in what had become a war of continents? In The War for the Seas, to be published on September 24th, Evan Maudsley traces events at sea from the first U-boat operations in 1939 to the surrender of Japan. He argues that the Allied counterattack involved not just decisive sea battles, but also a long struggle to control shipping arteries and move armies across the sea. Covering all the major actions in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, as well as those in the narrow seas, this book interweaves for the first time the endeavors of the maritime forces of the British Empire, the United States, Germany, and Japan, as well as those of France, Italy, and Russia. This is 800 pages long. Oh my. No, all right, this is 500 pages long. And Evan Maudsley is a historian and was a former professor of international history at Glasgow University. And he wrote World War II, A New History, which I'm trying to remember if I have or have read. I'm pretty sure that I would have read it. Fantastic. Okay, a little bit depressing. A little bit depressing in one small sense. I don't know anything about this book. I'm going to dive right into it head first. The only thing that's a little bit irritating about this pub sheet, probably won't be true of the book itself, is that there's no mention anywhere in this thing of the truly pivotal thing in the whole of the struggle that is being described here, and that's air power, not sea power, not land power, air power. Your convoys are helpless against air power. And same thing is true. Well, anyway, we shall see. That isn't the story this book is trying to tell. This is trying to tell sea power during World War II, and I'm all for it. And I know a couple of others out there, a couple of other people watching this video who are going to be all for it. I might need to get an extra copy of this book. All right, well, fantastic. That is great. I don't think I got an advanced copy of this, but whether I did and forgot or I didn't get one, I now have my reading set for this afternoon. So we have The War for the Seas, a naval history of World War II in all theaters and for all belligerents. And we have The Fire is Upon Us. So the exact opposite here. We have the broadest possible scale narrative history and keyhole history, a narrative history of one single event and a couple of key players. So there you have it. That is a balance right there of the incredible bounty that history can provide. Okay, fantastic. And these are both recent enough so that they are going on the pile. I am reading industriously to cover my bases in the upcoming weeks. And these are both prime candidates, so great. As far as the last mail haul of the week goes, this was a winner. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead and wrap this up. If there's more mail, I'll sit down in front of a camera and tell you all about it. In the meantime, we have plenty of other bookish stuff to talk about. So I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.